Hello and welcome to another episode of Humans in 5.
We've talked about some of the techniques we use in biological anthropology to collect size and shape information from skeletons, both in person and using digital technology. We've also shown you how 3D body scanners work and how the synchrotron can give us incredible detail on the structure of bone tissue.
We thought that it was about time we explained just how we can gather information on other tissues in the body and important processes in everyday life. These techniques for looking at body composition aren't just used by medical professionals, but also by researchers in biological anthropology, physiology, and sports science.
Let's start with something we're all doing right now: breathing. Breathing brings oxygen into our bodies and allows us to get rid of carbon dioxide when we exhale. Our breathing patterns change depending on what we're doing. Right now, both of us have pretty slow and steady breathing patterns.
But when I go for a jog, my breathing patterns will change because of the physical work I'm doing. More oxygen comes in and more carbon dioxide goes out. Measuring this exchange of gases is the basis for what's known as indirect calorimetry. By measuring the exchange of oxygen for carbon dioxide as people do different physical activities, researchers can gain an estimate of how much energy a person is using doing these different activities.
This is especially useful when researchers want to look at the differences in how people use energy for the same or different physical work. It could be walking in a hot versus cold climate, or comparing how much energy it takes to harvest particular types of food versus the energy the food provides.
It's also really helpful to be able to look at the variation in some of the soft tissues we have surrounding our bones. Now, the 3D body scanner we showed you in an earlier episode can take surface measurements of our body, but it doesn't show the details of different tissue types.
Our tissues can be broadly divided into lean mass and fat mass. Lean mass includes the weight of our bones, muscles, ligaments, tendons, and organs. It's a bit tricky, but lean mass actually includes a little bit of fat too, as there is some fat in our bones. Fat mass includes fat in the heart, lungs, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines, and muscles, and throughout the central nervous system, as well as fat pockets throughout the body that's there for energy storage.
When researchers investigate the proportions of different tissue types in the body, they're researching body composition. Researchers can use skin fold calipers to measure the amount of fat that's deposited just below the skin at different locations on the body. They can also take measurements of the circumference of a person's waist to look at fat distribution in the trunk or the middle of the body.
It's also possible to predict body composition using some more complicated methods. Bioelectrical impedance analysis, or BIA, calculates the amount of water in the body, which is mostly stored in our muscles. By passing a weak electrical current through the body, researchers can examine the impedance or resistance of a person's tissues. Generally speaking, with more muscle tissue, a person will have more body water, which will lead to lower impedance.
Researchers can also use some methods which look at both hard and soft tissue. Dual energy X-ray absorptiometry is a type of X-ray that gives us a view of both the skeleton and lean and fat mass. It's also safe to use with children because of its low radiation, which means it has applications for both health researchers and those like us who want to know more about variation in body size and shape.
That's just a few of the complex but fascinating methods we use to gather information on people's body size and shape. We hope this has you thinking about some exciting new studies from everything from arm length to fat mass, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
And don't forget to subscribe!